Hey children, so in this video we will learn tenses. Many children complain that this is the most difficult and confusing topic of grammar. But I assure you that after watching this video, you will love tenses. But to make it easy for you, I want you to watch the video sincerely. Now let us try to understand tenses step by step. First thing which you need to know is that what is tense and why we need to learn it. Tense is basically a method in grammar which is used to refer time in a language. And why we need to learn it? Because it helps to communicate effectively. Whether we have to communicate verbally or in writing, good knowledge of tense will help to make correct sentences, and this is how we would be able to convey our words, sentences or speech effectively. It also builds our confidence when we speak English correctly. Now you might be knowing that tense is majorly divided into three parts: past, present and future. Past tense refers to an action or situation that took place or happened in past. Present tense refers to an action or activity or situation in present moment. And future tense refers to any activity which is going to happen in upcoming moment or in future. Just look at the examples. I played football. I play football. I will play football. Now, in all these three sentences, you can see that the subject I and object football is same, but the verb is changing, and that is why we are able to understand that in which time the action of playing is happening, whether it is happening in the past or it is happening in present or it is happening in future. But we need to understand that how these words or how this action word play or our verb help us to understand time. Now let us try to understand how we have 12 parts of tenses. Now basically children, all our major tenses, past tense, present tense and future tense, are further divided into 4 categories. First is simple, which is also known as indefinite. Second one is continuous. Third one is perfect. And fourth one is perfect continuous. Now let us try to make 12 tenses out of these. Now let us take simple. So we can say we have simple past, simple present, simple future. Now with continuous we can again make 3 tenses: past continuous, present continuous, future continuous. Then past perfect, present perfect, future perfect. And similarly we can make past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. So in this way we can make 12 tenses. Now before getting into the knowledge of tenses, we need to have some basic knowledge of grammar. Now what is required to learn tenses? If you have this basic knowledge of grammar, then tenses will never confuse you. Okay, now let us check our basic knowledge of grammar. So first thing which you need to know in grammar to learn tenses is your sentence structure. When you look at your Hindi sentence structure, it is subject plus object plus verb. मैं football खेलता हूँ. So here in Hindi we use subject मैं, football as an object and खेलता हूँ at the end. That is your action, that is your verb. But in English it is altogether different. So our sentence structure is subject plus verb plus object. So that is why most of the children, when they try to translate their Hindi sentences into English, and when they try to speak in English by thinking in Hindi, they make errors while speaking in English. So you need to follow a particular structure of your language. Now, basically, what is a subject? Subject basically is a noun or pronoun. Or you can say it is something, or it can be a topic on which you are speaking. Verb. Now, to understand verb, you need to understand two things: helping verb and main verb. Now, helping verb is something which is going to help the action, the main verb, the action word, to make the sentence meaningful. And then we have object. Now, object is anything on which action is done. I hope your knowledge of subject, verb, and object is clear. Now, let us know the form of sentence. Basically, we have three forms of sentence. One is affirmative, second one is negative, and third one is interrogative. Now, affirmative means a positive sentence. And you can see the structure: subject plus helping verb plus main verb plus object. I am playing football. Here, I is your subject, am is your helping verb, playing is your main verb, and football is your object. And if you want to make any sentence a negative sentence, so what you have to do? You simply have to add not. So, I am not playing football. If you are adding not there, so it means you are speaking a negative sentence. And the change from positive to interrogative is very easy. If you want to change your positive sentence into an interrogative sentence, I am going to give you a very simple trick. What you have to do, simply pick up your helping verb and put it in front of your subject, and then you will get your interrogative sentence. For example, I am playing football. Am I playing football? Here, your helping verb is am. So what you have done, you have simply placed it in front of your subject I. So it has become your interrogative sentence. If you want to change the sentence, he is playing football. So what you're going to do, simply pick up your helping verb is and place it in front of your subject he. And you're going to get your interrogative sentence. Is he playing football? If you want to say he was playing football and you want to change it into interrogative, so what you're going to do? Was he playing football? This is really very simple. You can change any sentence into interrogative just by picking up its helping verb and placing it in front of the subject. Okay, but there are some cases where you need to use do, does, and did. That we will learn in tenses. So, basically speaking, when you speak any affirmative sentence, you can easily change it into interrogative. I hope it is clear till here. Now, second thing which you need to know is form of verb. Yes, because it helps to understand time of action. If you have good knowledge of form of verb, so basically to understand tenses, we need to have some basic knowledge of helping verb and main verb. अब हम इनको समझते हैं कि ये होते क्या. Now helping verb जिन्हें हम be form of the verb भी बोलते हैं और auxiliary verb भी बोलते हैं. Now be form of the verb इसलिए बोलते हैं because they help us to understand state of being. Okay, for example, he is a boy. Now in this sentence we do not have any verb, but is playing the role of a verb. So here it is expressing the state of being. वो क्या है? वो एक लड़का है. He is a boy. Fine. So is here is expressing the state of being. That is why helping verbs are also known as be form of the verb, and they are also known as auxiliary verbs. Now, why they are known as helping verbs? Because they help main verb to make the sentence more clear by giving information about time. Okay, now let us understand what we include under this category of helping verb. So as you can see on the screen, is, am, are. Within brackets, I have mentioned that where you are going to use is and where you are going to use are. So is generally goes with singular subject. When your subject, when your topic, whatever you are speaking on, that is singular, you are going to use is. And if your topic, if your subject is plural, you can use are. In present tense, fine. Now present tense, you know very well that anything which happens in present moment, that is present tense. Now similarly, we have was and were. So something happened in the past tense, we are going to use was with singular subject and were with plural subject. Next is has and have. This is really confusing. Most of the children do not know where to use has and where to use have. That you will come to know while learning tenses. But let me give you a brief idea here that has always goes with singular subject and have always goes with plural subject. This is what you have to remember. Okay, do not get confused with has and have. Has with singular, have goes with plural, and that we use in present perfect tense. So do not bother about present perfect tense. We will learn later on what is present perfect tense. Then we have had. Had goes with singular as well as plural subject. Fine, and this is what we generally use in past perfect tense. Then we have will and shall. Now these two words generally go with singular as well as plural in future tense. Okay, you have good knowledge of present, past and future. That I think no need to be explained. So here on the other side, you can see your main verbs. Now main verb basically has three forms: base form, past form and past participle form. Or you can say first form of the verb, that is base form, second form of the verb is known as past form, and third form of the verb is known as participle form. As you can see, eat, ate, eaten, sing, sang, sung, go, went, gone, play, played, played, study, studied, studied. So there are thousands of regular and irregular verbs that you can learn from anywhere. If you have good knowledge of all the three forms of the verb, then you will never make error in forming your sentences. You will make your sentences correctly if you have good knowledge of three forms of verb. Many children do not possess this knowledge. Okay, they do not know the three forms of the verb. So first of all, if you want to learn tenses thoroughly, you need to have good knowledge of three forms of verb. Now just look at these examples. He plays football. He is playing football. He was playing football. He will play football. He has played football. Now in all these 5 sentences, your subject he is same and object football is same, but the verb play is changing. So you can understand the importance of verb to understand tenses. So if you know the three forms of the verb, if you know the meaning, the uses of helping verb, then it will be easy for you to learn tenses. I hope it is going to help you a lot. Now, the third thing which we need to know in grammar is that is grammatical person. Yes, when we talk about grammatical person, we have 3 types of person. first person, second person, and third person. So first person include I, me, and we. Fine. And the second person include you. And third person include he, she, it, Rahim, Rita, Moon, Delhi, teacher, anything. Any subject you are talking about. Fine. So you just have to remember that in first person, you need to know I, me, and we. And in second person is only you. And rest other topic, rest other subject is your third person. I hope if you have this knowledge of grammar, this basic knowledge of grammar, then it will be easy for you to learn your tenses and understand your tenses thoroughly. So in part 2 of this video, I am going to teach you the uses of tenses, how to use them, how to understand them. I hope it is useful to you children. Bye bye.